What are your tips for a successful relationship? Communication and respect for one another. Settle arguments immediately. In my opinion, there is nothing worse than to stop talking to yourself and let anger, resentment, sadness grow inside you. That way you will find if you are compatible even more and reach a common ground sooner. Since everyone covered the relationship part already, may I add, choose the right partner for you. My father once told me everyone has flaws. Find someone whose flaws aren't a deal breaker to you, and I base my whole dating life on that simple tip. Just chill out. The stuff that used to annoy me, I just don't let it bother me. Don't expect your other to change if you're not willing to change yourself. I'm not willing to change, so I chill out about the stuff that bothers me. He does the same with me. Married for almost 16 years. Don't my best friend LMAO. You'd think this would be obvious, but apparently not. Communicate clearly, set boundaries, and always ask for consent. And that's not just for sex. Remember why you're appreciative and in love with them. After years of being together, sometimes it's easy to start taking your significant other for granted. That shouldn't be the case. You should have a sense of security in the relationship, but you shouldn't ever stop showing gratitude. The little things count. To me, love only gets old if you allow for it to. Not to brag, but I have a pretty awesome marriage. 20 years total for our relationship, and it's pretty perfect in every way. It's partially luck, but I've thought a lot about why it worked out so well for us. It's not even remotely one thing, but here's my list of everything I can think of that works together for complete peace in my marriage. She's hot enough that I don't even remotely look at other women. She's nearly 40 and still passes for being in her 20s. This is the most shallow part of my list, but I figured I'd get it out of the way. Being with someone you're attracted to helps a ton. We laugh a lot and have the same sense of humor. This is where I make up for the fact that she's hot. I make her laugh. We communicate honestly about everything. This doesn't just take communication skills. You have to be in a position to have no reason to be dishonest or passive-aggressive. We know everything about each other, and we spend the time and effort it takes to maintain that. We have the same hopes, wishes, faith, and dreams. No complicated explanation here. We just want the same things in almost every aspect of our lives. That's just luck. No one comes between us. Not our parents, siblings, bosses, or best friends. There's no one with any real influence on our lives other than us. We're a team. I would never do anything for anyone else if it hurt her in any way, and she's more than proven the same to me. We've never had money problems. This is also a shallow one, but it would be a lie to pretend it doesn't matter. Not one day of our relationship have we had a real reason to stress about money. This is part luck and part hard work. We set goals and we meet them, and we manage our money well. A huge part of this is her faith in me. I started a business at one point and she never questioned the financial side of it, freeing me to make some important decisions. I take almost 100% responsibility in ensuring we both make enough and don't spend too much. We both have great careers, but she doesn't even keep up with our finances. This wouldn't work for everyone, but in our case, it does. We are low drama people. We both have dreams and aspirations that we respect and support each other's dreams. In our marriage, one of us being indecisive or lazy would never have worked. Our work lives are important to each other, and we have a lot of respect for each other's efforts in each. She's perfect. Has made it insanely easy for me. I will never do better, and I remind myself every single day. So have a hot wife and be rich. Thanks, Brew. Always be polite. Say thank you and please and would you mind, and thank them for what they do. Tell them and show them that you appreciate things they do. Say, come to terms and apologize when you're wrong. Stay away from topics that don't directly have to do with the foundation of your relationship that cause problems. This should be both of you. Try to help each other out whenever you can, and if it isn't often that one of you can't help the other as much, try to do other things for them to make them feel like they're not the only ones putting in work. Communication. No matter how small, bring things up if it's annoying you. If you fight, find a way to resolve it. If not immediately, then the same, or next day. By internalizing things, small things will build over time, until it turns into resent. Balance of selfish and selfishness. A healthy relationship is a balance. It's a two-player game. If you always put their needs in front of yours, you're not taking care of yourself. If you always put yourself first, you're just being a prick. Commitment. You both have to believe in the relationship and commit. Times are not always rosy. When times are rough, you have to believe in the two of you. The sum of the relationship is bigger than the two individuals. Understand things change after the honeymoon period. The honeymoon period can last anything from 3 months to 2 years in a relationship. Eventually the excitement dies down, and habits in the relationship form. Be aware that the shape of love changes. Here's a hard truth: just because it was exciting at first, doesn't mean it's a relationship for life. Be careful of promises you make during the honeymoon. Don't rush into anything too serious during the honeymoon, like getting married or moving in together. Love is like a good wine. It gets better with age. If you use the right grapes and give it a lot of care, you can create something exciting and delicious. To have a successful relationship, you must first of all love yourself. If you cannot see anything positive in yourself, you cannot understand the value of people who like you, and you just close doors. I believe that there are a lot of tips that someone can give, but this is what I learned from my own little experience. Talk regularly. Phones down for a minute or two. If you're ever upset over something and you express it, make sure to tell them you're not directing your feelings at them if you aren't. Most importantly, make sure to look at them as a friend as well as a partner. Assume positive intent. 3 things: trust, communication and respect. If you have all 3, the rest just falls into place. Oh, and keep the fights clean and the sex dirty. Don't rush into things too fast because of the initial excitement. Don't expect them to read your mind. Do kind things for your partner outside of holidays or occasions, not because you feel obligated to, but because you genuinely enjoy seeing them happy. Even if they're very little things, like having the favorite meal prepped after a hard day or scratching their back as they get comfortable before they fall asleep. Communication is huge. It sounds cliche, but it's true. If your partner can't say, "Hey, when you did this, I felt like this," without worrying about you getting super defensive or starting a fight, then you need to work on your communication skills. If you're feeling a certain way but are too scared, worried to say anything, or worse, feel like they should know, then you need to work on your communication skills. Marriage is just the buddy system. Tell your buddy what you need and listen when they tell you what they need. It's like 90% of the relationship. Knowing that your sir is different than you. End of story. They will do and say things that you don't. That doesn't make them wrong. Sometimes, you both need space. Not for any bad reasons, or because your relationship is failing. Sometimes it's just nice to have some time to yourself. Always be towards your partner. When you're not sure on something, ask yourself, is it towards your partner or against them? If they do the same and you have open, mature conversation, you'll do well. The day I proposed to my wife, we literally had an argument in the morning. She left for work and I knew she would come home. We would both say sorry and we would grow from it. And it would always be like that because we both wanted to be towards each other. Treat each other respectfully and with kindness. Building trust by consistently being open and honest. Have your own separate things that you like to do. Don't text all day or check in too much. Realize when they're in a bad mood, it probably has nothing to do with you. Don't keep score. Apologize. Compliment them. Listen fully. Don't lie. Don't cheat. Be humble. Show love. Do things together. These are my well-tested tips to keep things working, and probably the most important. If, or rather when, you encounter trouble, no matter what, speak to each other calmly about how you two as a whole are going to deal with it. Communicating, being patient and hearing each other. Compromises. Keep dating. Been together 10 years, married for 1, and we still go on dates. Let them have their knee-jerk reaction to a thing, but also let them have their measured response. Be prepared to forgive the knee-jerk if it turns out it wasn't really the message they wanted to give you. Give each other space. Don't seek for another person to complete you or fulfill your needs. Fulfill your own needs and then present yourself as a whole with the objective of what you can offer instead of what you can take. A lot of people have said some great things already. I'll repeat some of them here. Communication. Be able to say if your partner is doing something you don't like and be comfortable in hearing the same. Also be comfortable telling your partner great things about them and why you appreciate them. I can tell I've made my wife really happy when I acknowledge her for carrying me through things I'm not good at. Tag team clean. If she's vacuuming the floor then I'm washing dishes. We tag team clean and it goes by much faster that way. Financially strategize together. Money is a huge stressor on a relationship. Once you're serious about your relationship, discuss money, discuss financial goals. Get on the same page on what money means to you and how it will help you achieve your goals. Keep your individuality. Maintain your relationships with your friends and some of your individual hobbies and encourage your partner to do the same. Having a similar work ethic is necessary for a successful relationship. Not talking about your careers or lack thereof, but in all things, chores, communication, fitness, etc. Tell each other when one of you did something wrong so that you can fix it. It doesn't have to be immediate because sometimes you need some time to yourself to cool off and get your head straight, but eventually you should tell your partner what they did wrong or what upset you. When your partner is complaining about something, ask them, do you want to vent or want help with finding a solution? I'm nearly 30 and heard this the other day. Game changer.